Welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. So, guys, the Astros did it. They got my prediction. I said before the season that they would get 95 wins. They did it. They did it after it was like a tennis match today, and they did it. And who did it? It was Yuli Gurriel, and he not only did he win the batting title today, but he did it on his bobblehead day, and the bobblehead is awesome. I got there early. I was able to sit there with a friend of mine. Let's just call her that. And so I was sat there with my friend. I actually went to the game, yes, with my scooter and all, and it was fun there. It was an awesome experience. It was one of those experiences that you won't forget, and it was an awesome game. I did have to leave early, so I didn't see the drama at the end, but I did get to hear about it on the radio on the way home. But yeah, Carlos Correa, that moment before the game, that was just an awesome experience, and it was just a great experience to not only the fact that they did that to start the game, where the players just said, hey, let's let Carlos Correa start the game, and then just let him go on the field and just recognize, let the fans just acknowledge him, because this guy has been Mr. Clutch for so long for the Houston Astros. And and so that was a big moment for him where he took the field. Everybody else just said, we're going to let you go up there. And so the fans gave him the props. And Dusty Baker in the ninth inning with, I believe it was with 2 outs, he took him off the field. And that was kind of a risky move. I know this win didn't really matter if the Astros lost this game, but then Chris Davis hit that home run off of Blake Taylor. And if I said the name wrong, I apologize. But but that could have been a risky move. But at the same time, they had already clinched the second seed in the AL, and they already have home field advantage in ALDS. But it did not matter. But I do want to focus on Carlos Correa for a little bit. This guy means so much for the Houston Astros. And even his wife was like a little teary-eyed, say, this is too much. What the Houston fans have done for her husband, how they have they've done this, how they have treated her husband. This does mean something. How the Astros fans have done a lot of this stuff. So Brett's going to be, we're going to do another podcast later, but I just wanted to give you all a chance to come on and say your words. I'm going to do a Spotify green room in a little bit. So guys, keep a lookout for that little invitation in a second. But I just want to do this real quick and just do a live reaction. So what do y'all think about this? What is your biggest Carlos Correa moment? If this was his last regular season game with the Houston Astros, what was your favorite game or favorite moment? So, but this was for Dusty Baker. That was a risky move, but at the same time, it was the right move. And I know a lot of people criticize Dusty Baker, but that was the right move to let. I know at the beginning game, you have a lot of people who are arriving late, a lot of people that didn't really pay attention to what was going on at the beginning game, where it was only Carlos Correa who took the field. But that was a big moment for Carlos Correa to do that. And so Carlos Correa, my favorite moment is just, I would have to say, I mean, it wasn't really him on the field, but when they drafted Alex Bregman, when George Springer was in the clubhouse and said, hey, they drafted your replacement or something like that. So, but there's just a lot of situations that, yeah, I think Larry DeGM said this was his best Carlos Correa moment when he told the world to STFU. So also, I would have to say that not just the world, but when he told all that, when he kind of stood up for the team last year, when everybody was saying, oh, y'all just cheated. That's the only way y'all won the World Series in 2017. Carlos Correa, of all people, was the guy who came up and said, well, don't blame this on Jose Altuve. Yes, we may have cheated, but Jose Altuve did not. And so Carlos Correa is the man. He will always be the man. And you can tell with him talking this, I don't have all the quotes in front of me. Before we do the big show later on, I will definitely have a lot of his quotes from this weekend. But you can tell that there's some apprehension about him kind of leaving the team. So definitely this was a big moment, a sad moment for not just Astros fans, not just for Carlos Correa, but for everybody in the organization, because Carlos Correa has meant a lot for the organization. And there's a reason why they came up with these bobbleheads, because this face in the last year's playoffs, when nobody thought the Astros had a chance, this guy stood up for the Astros and he said, "Can you hear me?" And yes, Astros, we can hear you. Carlos Correa, we can hear you. And now the Astros have a chance to say, "Can you hear me?" again in the 2021 playoffs. And that's what the Astros have to do now. And they have to start with the White Sox, which they clinched yesterday. Brett and I were trying to debate whether to do a podcast last night, and we were both saying, yeah, we're going to have a busy week, so let's just go ahead and take Saturday night off. And he had a busy day and I had a busy day celebrating my daughter's birthday. So we decided to take yesterday off, but that was a big game yesterday. Today was a big game with a walk-off by Yuli Gurriel. And it's kind of like finding the upside. And speaking of upside, my name is Eric Heisman, and I have this incredible app that allows me to buy gas. It's called Get Upside. My listeners are making 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app on the App Store or the Google Play right now. Just use the promo code baseball and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. And it's kind of like you have to go find the different gas stations to get the best price. So some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 to $300 a month in cash back, and there's no catch. The cash back gets added back to your account. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card to Amazon or other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use the promo code baseball for up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. That code is baseball. And speaking of which, don't forget to check out DirecTV. And I know that with the playoffs coming, there's a whole bunch. It's not going to be on AT&T Sportsnet, so you want to make sure you have all the channels. Well, I want to tell you a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without the hassle, and that the great way to get all your TV together, and it's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch all your favorite sports, movies, and all the shows in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV to stream. You can get more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. All right. So back to Yuli Gurriel. So I know that he was going back to he was trying to win that title. And that's a big moment, especially for somebody like Yuli Gurriel, who did win that batting title back in Cuba. That was a big deal for him. And he said so. He said, yes, I did it in Cuba, but to do it in Major League Baseball, which is the best of the best of all the baseball leagues, that would be a big deal. And so he actually did it. He beat out a potential MVP candidate in Vladimir Guerrero. So for him to actually do it, and for him to do it on his bobblehead day with the hair and all, that is a perfect way to, Disney could even write the script on this ending. So it was a perfect way to do it. So I see a lot of y'all talking about the White Sox pitcher. So I guess the White Sox pitcher is saying they're going to shut the Astros fans down. How are they going to do that? I guess by pitching good. Okay, fine. Okay, well, they've done that before, and then the Astros always seem to find a way to do better. I know the White Sox bullpen is pretty good. We have plenty of time to kind of delve into that because we have till Thursday. The first game isn't until Thursday, and you know what I hate? about the ALDS is we don't even know what the freaking times are. I wish I could say, oh, well, hey, I need to take a half day off because I have tickets for the game 2 on Friday. But I don't know. It could be a 7 o'clock game or it could be a 1 o'clock game. That's the bad thing about things. You don't really know what's going on. So being the Astros, they're always going to put us as the early one. So people are saying that it's going to be Lucas Giolito or Lance Lynn are saying that. But I'm not worried about Lance Lynn. The Astros have handled Lance Lynn before. I'm not worried about Giolito. I know that he has pitched good against the Astros. The only one that's worried me is Rondon, and he is the one that has shut the Astros down. But the Astros have gotten to him on occasion, but it's a weird situation. So yes, I know there a lot of people have been wondering about the wild card situation, and a lot of people were hoping for chaos. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be the Red Sox versus Yankees. And a lot of people were hoping that the Mariners and the Blue Jays would kind of squeak their way in. But unfortunately, it looks like the Rays were not looking for that situation. And they pitched to Aaron Judge, and Aaron Judge hit that walk-off home run or whatever that situation was. So unfortunately, it's going to be a made-for-TV Red Sox versus Yankees. And that is exactly what they want. Yeah, I think Boston has the better record, so it will be in Boston. So whoever wins that, and wouldn't that be a sucky situation for the Red Sox to have that great team all year round and the Yankees to suck for 60% of the year? Then all of a sudden they have the Yankees go on this winning streak, and then all of a sudden they get in that, and it's just like all of a sudden it's like bam, they're all of a sudden good, and then they knock out the Red Sox. That would be terrible for the Red Sox because the Red Sox were made for this year, and but that's just what's going to happen. So, but we'll see. But what was good about today's game besides the actual outcome? It's good to see that Zach Greinke made it back. I know he just pitched last Thursday. He pitched on short rest, and he showed that he can give you a good 2 1/3 innings. I know he did give up 2 runs. He did allow that home run, but he still showed that he can pitch on short rest. That's what he was looking for. That's what Dusty Baker was looking for. And he wanted to get him in a major league game before the season was over. So it was good to see Greinke back. And I know that a lot of people are saying, well, Blake Taylor, he gave up that home run. Who cares? The Astros gave up 4 home runs today. Jose Urquidy gave up 2 home runs today. It just seemed like at the beginning of the game, it was solo home run. It was like a tennis match at the beginning of the game. But unfortunately, you're going to have those situations. But Jose Urquidy, after the game, said that he expects to be in the rotation. And with the way everything is looking, I would agree. So I don't think that Jake Odorizzi has done enough to prove that he deserves to be in the rotation. So I believe that your starting 4 is going to be definitely Lance McCullers. I think Dusty Baker said after the game that he thinks that Lance McCullers is going to be your number 1. Then you're probably going to have Framber Valdez in there, then Luis Garcia, then Jose Urquidy. Then you're probably going to have Zach Greinke in there, and Luis. Then you'll probably maybe have Jake Odorizzi. But then if you have Jake Odorizzi in there and Christian Javier, I really don't think Christian Javier is going to be in it. He's been wild, guys. He's been wild. I don't know if you're going to have that, but a lot of people are saying, well, Jeremiah is saying start Castro. But if you start Castro has proved himself as a valuable pinch hitter late in the game. So I believe he got another pinch hit today. So why are you going to start Castro when he is your clutch pinch hitter? And he's like Mr. Corona says, he is not a good, he doesn't have a strong arm. So that's what Martin Maldonado is. And so I don't think that if you're in the playoffs, you really care about the catcher. The catcher is there to play defense. And that's what Martin Maldonado can do. And Maldonado does have that surprise power. So don't forget about that situation. So so we'll have to see what happens there and what else. So Anyway, but the game overall, the Astros did have 12 hits, and it was a great experience, and it was a great way. And for those of y'all that went, what did y'all think about all the blue? We saw the people making balloon hats, and it was kind of like an indoor carnival type atmosphere. You had people doing the characters, and I think the Astros went all out to kind of make this a fan friendly atmosphere, and it's kind of getting y'all ready for what you could possibly see for the playoff games. I know with the playoff games, they have the carnival outside. I don't know if they're doing that this year, but that's what they've done in the past. So, you know what all the Astros players have said, what they're looking forward to the most with this year's playoffs? Us back in the stands, because last year they did not have that. So last year they had cardboards. This year they're going to have Eric Heisman in stands, and hopefully Eric Heisman. Well, I'll be going to game 2, so y'all are going to have to go to game 1 and cheer, because game 1 I'll probably still be learning how to rewalk after taking this cast off. But anyway, that's all I got. The Astros got to 95 wins. I'm super excited about that. Jose Urquidy pitched good enough. He pitched 6 innings, guys. That's in a playoff game. That's all the Astros will be expecting from Jose Urquidy. And we saw how short a leash that Dusty Baker tends to have. So we'll see what happens from there. But guys, that's all I got. We'll be back for another edition of the Locked On Astros podcast later. And don't forget to, I will be sending out shortly a link for the Spotify Green Room. So if you want to join in, and we can have a deeper conversation about what y'all think is going to happen with Carlos Correa, all that fun stuff. So thank you for joining another edition of the Locked On Astros podcast, and we'll be back later with a full edition.